back to the channel, everybody. Welcome back to Forest River, North Dakota. We have made it to February. We have a nice, clear, sunny day, so we decided to go ahead and start working on the lime for the cornfield. So that's what we're doing right now. We've already had to go to the co-op and refill once, and I'm assuming we're going to have to go refill again because we're not even quite halfway done with this field. But the reason I decided to go ahead and do this now is you can look down here. It's going to be sunny and clear all through February, but then there's a chance of rain in March. So we'll get a little bit of rain at the beginning of March when either before or after we come out here and cultivate, and that'll help work this lime into the ground before we come out to harvest or come out to plant our corn in April. So we'll plant the corn in April. I believe I can plant the soybeans in May, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we can plant the corn in April, and we can plant the soybeans in May. That's the plan. And then we should be able to harvest the wheat in June. Correct? Yeah, and then our wheat will be ready in June. So we'll have 4 straight months of busyness here. Well, while we're going through the field, the cows are doing fine. If you see the money up top change, I sold a few of them because I realized I had some that were 12 months old and some that were 2 months old. So I evened it out. All the cows now are between 11 and 15 months. So these 2 down here that are 11 months, they have 3 of them that are 11 months. They have to be at least 12 months old to reproduce. So what we're going to go ahead and do in this episode is where I talked about buying that extra land over there and putting down a different pasture. We're going to go ahead and do that, and we're going to make it with a little calving barn for the heifers, and then we'll go ahead and buy 2 bulls, since this little pasture only holds 11,000 liters of food and only holds 50 cows. We will use that. We'll use that pasture for the bulls for now, because what we're going to do here early on is we're going to keep all the heifers, but we're only going to keep 3 or 4 bulls, because eventually we're going to work up to where we have like 100 to 150 heifers, and we'll need more than 2 bulls once we have that many heifers. But that's the plan, is to keep the heifers but sell the bulls. So obviously I'm going to have more heifers than bulls, so I'm going to create a bigger pasture for the heifers to run in. So while we're at it, let's go ahead and go ahead and buy farmland 33 over here. But if I recall correctly, now that I'm thinking about it, I think, well, I have a mod that lets me put fences anywhere, I think. But to do what I actually want to do, to connect the 2 fields, I need the fence to come all the way over here. So that's 37,000, but this plot over here is 400. So we'll just go ahead and buy that one for now at 37,000, and we'll put something down over there for now for the heifers. We'll go over there and sell those 2 grain bins, maybe to get a little bit of money off of that, and then go from there. Oh, and we'll put down a small enclosed stable over there that will allow us to at least have a shelter for the heifers when they begin to calve. So we're going to finish up getting the lime down here. I'm at 27% full. I'm probably going to have to go fill one more time before I finish this field. I decided we're not going to put lime down on the soybean field as part of our rotation. well, what'll happen is I will put down lime before I do corn, which I won't have to do any lime next year because the field that has wheat on it now will be corn next year. So the plan is, if I just lime before I do corn, then it'll carry over. Ooh, there's drain. It'll carry over for the soybeans. I'm not 100% concerned about getting maximum yield for the wheat because that's one of the lower price commodities in the game to begin with, and I'm doing it mainly for the straw. So I'm not 100% concerned about getting max yield on the wheat. So I don't necessarily need to have perfect lime for the wheat. But if I can have perfect lime and perfect fertilizer for the corn, and then with precision farming on soybeans, the soybeans do not require any nitrogen of their own, then that the nitrogen that we use for the corn will carry through the beans, and then I'm only having to lime one field every year. That'll save us a little bit of money. So we're gonna, we're down to 5% here. So we're gonna go ahead and shut this off and head to, I think just to make it quicker, I think I'm gonna unhook it and I'm gonna run back to the farmyard and get the pickup. I'm gonna run back to the farmyard and get the pickup real quick. And we're gonna go top off the lime one more time, and then we'll be back to put down the cattle pasture. Alright, the lime is done, and now we are exploring our options for the cattle pasture. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go fly into our construction mode and go over here and sell our sell our 2 grain bins. We're gonna get $30,000 each for those, so that'll help. And now what I've done is I actually off the camera went and sold the grain bins in the Quonset shed that were over here. So now we can sell that property for $20,000. I went ahead and priced out, it's going to cost us probably somewhere around $75,000 to $80,000 to buy the planter, the combine, and the grain platform to start the wheat harvest. We have $769,000. So I'm going to go ahead and buy this extra plot here. I don't know that we'll run the fence all the way around it. I mean, I guess we could, and just imagine that the cows can cross the river when it's low enough. So that'll give us plenty of room for our heifers. So we're going to go ahead and buy that. And I think by doing that, I won't actually have to run the fence underneath the road, but I think I might go ahead and do that anyway. So there's that for $412,000. Leaves us with 356. So now, one of the Patreons I follow is DR Modding. He came up with this American Fenceless Pastures mod, where you can just put down a hay ring and then put a pasture up wherever you want it, right? Well, I want to have something to where the cows have shelters. So I'm going to go here. I don't think there is. In FS25 there were some old, like, wooden shelled out barns. I don't see it. Let me see if there's anything in decorations or others. I kind of want to just put down some form of a shelter on this other side, if I can find something that will work. There's how small. There we go. So there we go. We'll have, yeah, that'll work. And we can also use that for storage if we ever need it. So we're going to put down that old shed right there. And then what I'll do is I'll come in with, I think I'll come in with the tractor and plow that into dirt. So we have that set up now. So now we're going to go back over here. And we're going to go ahead and We're going to go ahead and sacrifice this hayfield for now, but it'll come back. So, because eventually, once we have enough heifers and bulls to where we're going to start selling cows off, I'm going to put a couple of feedlot pens here and then turn this into hay. So once we get to where we're big enough, we will have gotten into the 80s or 90s, and we'll be able to expand to where we have more ability to for hay production. And if needed, I can also buy one and use one of these smaller plots, or maybe buy this plot across the way over here to where we can either chop some corn for silage or have some additional hay. So now we're going to go back here into animals, and I think I'm going to go ahead and use this red one. Get us something a little bit newer looking. I don't know what it overlaps with back there, but if it overlaps with something, that's fine. We'll go ahead and drop this back here so that we can get in and out with the feed wagon. Let's see if we can slide it over a little bit. The only thing with using this one is I don't have, well, I guess I can make it work. The options that I have for the fences, because I can delete sections of fence after I put it down and it'll still work correctly, I think. So let's make sure it's square with the road, which it is. Let's drop it down there. I can take out these first couple of trees if I need to, if that's too sharp of an angle. We're gonna go as far forward as we can go with it. And then we want to customize the fence for the cattle stable. We're gonna hit yes, and we start off right here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come out one section there, and then these are the gates we get. These are the gates we have options with on this mod. Nothing spectacular, but we'll use what we can for now. And then, like I said, I can actually come back later and delete those sections of fence and put down different gates if I want to. Alright, so now we're actually going to... Oh! I don't want to delete the... We're going to actually come all the way across the creek here, and then we're going to... Land is not owned by you. Well, poo. Well, that's going to mess things up, but that's fine. We can come back and fix this. We're going to have to sell that quick. And now I'm going to have to go into farmland. Yeah, so this, like the highway and stuff here. Let's see if we can buy that. $1.27 million, but that's going to give us like all the grassways. So we're going to cheat here. We're going to cheat here so we can do this. We're going to go add $1.3 million to the bank. We are going to buy that area so that we can do what we want to do with our fences. And that basically gives us all of the roads and stuff around the map. That's fine. Now back to the construction menu. Back down. Place this in the exact same spot where we just had it. And then we're going to customize our fence again. We're going to come out one full section like we did. Then we're going to drop a gate. Go from up overhead so we can get that as straight as possible. And then run the fence through the trees to the other side of the creek bed here. And now run that. We'll go ahead and do it like this so that we can try to avoid having it show up on the railroad tracks. So then now we own all of how do I want to do this? let's just go out to like, right here, and then maybe I can run this. Oh, I gotta figure out where the edge of my property is here now. There's an option for delete last segment. There we go. We'll just go across right here then. Because we know for sure that we own everything on this side of the river. On this plot. There we own. We own all of this, like all the way. We'll just do this, and we'll follow the river on this side. That way we don't have to cross the river all the way. Land is not owned by you. So, yeah. We'll just kind of follow the river here. And then we'll go all the way over. I want to say... yeah. So we'll just go in here somewhere. Follow this tree line. Where am I at? How is that not owned by us? We'll go in here behind the shed. And then what we're going to do here is we'll drop this to end like right there, and then we'll put another gate right here. And then what we'll do is we'll come in with a different fence mod and maybe change out that gate if we need to. We're gonna run this fence all the way back over to the creek bed. We're going to go back under the bridges to right there. And then we're going to take this all the way around right here. And we'll see how many thousands of heifers we can hold now. I want to get this to be straight. This is one of the things I struggle with, is when I put fences down like this, is like not getting everything perfectly straight. But there we go. All connected now. Let it calculate. Did I break it? I might have broken it. There we go. A lot of meadow to be planted. All right. So now let's go and let's run over there and let's see how many cows we hold now. Well, that's one thing I need to do. I'll have to come back and paint meadow grass and get this all set up. Now, one thing that I might do, because I've done it before, we are going to hold 2,000. That pasture can now hold 2,000 cows. I think that's plenty. So now, if I do this, now, when I go into the construction mode, I should be able to delete just... maybe not. I guess I can't. I thought I could delete individual sections of a fence, but I guess I can't. So there's one decoration we're gonna put down here. It's gonna look kind of iffy, but since we can't get rid of the fence, we'll just deal with it. I don't want the metal one. I should have a wood. We're gonna put down this loading chute right here and line it right up with our animal trigger there. Okay, so now we're just gonna paint I'm just going to go ahead and paint the meadow grass down around the edges here. Actually, I think I need to paint the grass over it first. Okay. Paint down some meadow grass over the top of that now. And then off camera, I'm going to go make my pathways. Actually, no, before we do that, since we're here, we're going to go ahead. Let's see what we can get. I think we're going to go with 3 if we can get 3. 6 months old. There's a 12-month-old. It says his health isn't very good, but we're going to do it anyway. So there's one Angus bull. We do not have any Hereford bulls or Red Angus bulls. So we're actually going to go in here and reset our animal dealer. Now let's see what we have. There we go. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Now we have a nice, healthy Angus bull there. We have a nice, healthy Limousine bull there. And Ugly Storm. We're just going to buy him because his name is Ugly Storm. We're going to buy it because his name is Ugly Storm. That's right. You heard me. So now I'm going to go in here and let's see. We're going to name this one Big Red, if it'll let us. And then we're going to name this one, oh, Ugly Ollie. So you know what? Let's have some fun with this, right? If it's going to let us. Let's have some fun with it. So now we have Ugly Storm, Ugly Red, and Ugly Ollie. So let's see now. There we go. Ugly Ollie, Ugly Red, and Ugly Storm. We have our 3 bulls. So I'm going to jump off camera now and use, get the case out and plow up some dirt paths, and then we'll be back in. I'll probably come back in April for planting. I don't think I'm going to bore you guys with cultivating the fields. So we'll be back in April when it's time to start planting. April is here and it's time to get some seeds in the ground. We did buy a planter and it's already stored over here in Quonset hut, so we're going to come over here and pick it up. It is an older model. I think it's actually a European model. It's not a US model, but it's the best old school 8-row planter that I could find. So we're going to back up to this, hook up to it, and head on out. 400 liters of fertilizer, 900 liters of corn seed in here. I'm going to go over here and do our headlands first. We'll do a couple of headlands here. And then I'm going to use the GPS to do the first pass through the field, and then I'm going to do the rest using the markers and actually try to get this a little bit realistic for the time frame. So pull in here. Without using the fancy vehicle. Just see how well I can do. So there. Just kind of turn this here. I feel like that, yeah, 290, 292 is probably my angle here. Pickup is parked along the road up at the other end of the field. This is not a Roadcraft ready map, but I know that Giants changed the number of angles that you can, that the crops will grow at, so it looks like my planter tracks are actually following this angle, so it'll be interesting to see how this works out. That up. We're going to go ahead and do 2 just because we don't have as much room along this edge of the field. I don't need to put my marker down for this one though. Now this is the only complaint I have about this game is growing up using the row markers, you wanted to line the middle of the tractor up on the row marker, but on this game it's more like the front tire needs to be on the front left tire needs to be on the mark, so that's what we're going to do here. Follow our mark. We might be overlapping a little bit. Alright. We've already used quite a bit of solid fertilizer. Doesn't hold very much. I may look at alternate methods of putting fertilizer in as we move through the years here. The problem is, going back this far, if I wanted to, about the only thing that we would have used back in the 70s, other than spreading the fertilizer directly on the ground, would have been anhydrous. So maybe I can find an anhydrous bar that kind of fits the time frame. We'll see. Actually, do I want to? Yeah. I was trying to decide which end of the field I wanted to line this up on. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with this side of the field. We'll line our GPS line on. See where we end up when we get to the other end. You can see there, down there in the bottom right, we're putting quite a bit of nitrogen down. This land was really low on nitrogen. So hopefully I have enough dry fertilizer to put in this planter and keep things going. But we'll go to the dealership and get some more. We'll run to the dealership and get some. See there, the field is looking pretty good. It doesn't look like it's growing at all, but I did walk out there and it does say it's at growth stage 4 of 8, so it is growing. It just doesn't look like it. And then you can see because we have that plow cultivated, or that path there cultivated, it looks like a field. We're gonna have a red strip down there, right down the middle, where there's actually no nitrogen. It's like the cedars skipped a couple strips of nitrogen. I don't know how that happened. It is what it is. Going this right about there. We overlap a little bit on this one. This way it is. We're going to lift this up. Get 2 headlands here. There you can see there's the. You know what? Let's go ahead. Since we're close enough, let's just go ahead and top up our our fertilizer while we're here. I might have to, I might end up having to go ahead and go empty the excess line out of the spreader and just spread some solid fertilizer down over the top of this after I'm done planting, so I don't have to stop every. Because what I did, I did 2 headlands, 2 end rows, and 1 pass-through field, and I was down to 30%. So I'm going to be filling up with fertilizer quite often, unless I just cheat and hire a worker, and then the game just purchases it as it goes. But I'm going to do this all myself, I think. I guess I can go ahead and turn that off since I have my line painted. Yeah, so we're going to finish off here in April. I probably have enough time to get the soybeans in the ground too. So that might be what we do. I might just spend the entire month of April getting some seeds in the ground, and then we got some fun stuff in store for you. Go ahead and get these seeds in the ground. Call that a day for this episode. We're really getting into the action now. Things are starting to pick up. Got some stuff to do with the cows. We'll probably be close to getting another cut of hay off the field as well. So a lot going on the farm. So keep watching. Hopefully I'll keep posting videos. I think we're up to episode 4 now. I'm trying to keep track in my head because I actually had a few days off work, so I've recorded 4 episodes worth of content here in the last couple of days, and it's all going to get posted over the course of a few months. So, but that's going to allow me to keep rolling content out for you guys because I have a good 4 or 5 episode jump. I'll be able to play for a few hours on the weekends here and there, and that will allow me to keep the content going. So if you like what you see, feel free to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell to keep getting updates. Tag along with this episode as we move through the years here.